Hey everybody, so I've been wanting to dive back into the AI music side of things, but I really wasn't sure what I wanted to cover. As luck would have it, today's sponsor, Lalal.AI, reached out, and suddenly I did have an idea. Could we go crate digging with an AI music generator? So today we're going to take a look at Suno's latest update as a music generator, and it is pretty fantastic. We're going to create a track there, take it over to Lalal.AI, tear it apart, and then we're going to take that material and chop, slice, and dice to create a wholly original piece of music. So crate digging, which is a pastime that I partook in, at least until my vinyl obsession era finally came to a close, is the art of beat makers scouring record stores looking for that gem of a record that has a sample on it that will not only hook listeners, but have all of their other beat making friends jealous with envy. Traditionally, or back in the day, when the beat maker would find this golden sample, it was then loaded into an MPC style device. But basically what you could do is take segments of your sample and then assign them to play on the various pads of your device. You could also add effects. Certain units would allow you to manipulate the time. This was all a process called chopping. Today, most people just do it on their computer using a device like this. But of course, there is a purist market that still likes to work directly from vinyl to hardware. So let's see how far we can get without having to take a trip to the record store. So we have looked at Suno and the music generation side of it in the past, but they've done some updates and have really come along. It's very simple to use. All you have to do is issue the command /Chirp. A dialog box will come up in which you can enter your lyrics. You can now also list a genre that you want your music generated in, and the prompts have a few more tricks in it as well. Like you can specify if you want male vocals or female vocals, or even go instrumental by prompting instrumental and not putting any lyrics in. For example, here's someone that prompted in the style of Delta Blues, Howlin' Wolf. Let's take a listen to that.
In the land of two, a fiery soul, with eyes ablaze, is on a roll.
Now that is a bot that has the blues. It'll also do traditional Native American metal, where somebody just typed in bows and arrows. Let's take a listen to that real quick.
Bows and arrows.
That is pretty hilarious. But you can see in this example as well that you can actually prompt in choruses and verses as well with a open bracket, I guess that is, chorus, close bracket, and then verse. So it does respond to it as well, which is pretty insane. Suno will give you two choices after you chirp. The generations are about 30 seconds long. If you choose to, you can always continue one too. I think it goes up to about a minute. So for purposes of this video, I kind of wanted to go with kind of a more old school beat, more in line with the golden artistic age of producers like J Dilla, whose album Donuts is a true masterpiece, or MF Doom, who has an instrumental compilation called Special Herbs. I highly recommend that you check that out. That actually has its own GitHub page listing out all of the obscure samples that he used. Or another personal favorite of mine, Brock Barrington, who wears a chicken mask on his head. You can check out Brock's song, 4 Walls and an Amplifier. That's kind of the vibe that we're going for here. I do say going for, I don't feel that I'm anywhere near as talented as any of these people are. The links to everybody are down below. So generating up a sample with the prompt 1960s soul female lead vocal in Suno, and then actually cribbing the lyrics from Brock's 4 Walls and an Amplifier, which was sampled from I Am Controlled by Your Love by Helene Smith, which was recorded in 1966. We ended up with this. So that is pretty remarkable. That's one of the things that I think that Suno does very well. Because Suno creates in Stable Diffusion, there is always kind of this air of sort of fuzziness to the whole thing, but that actually really works if you are aiming for kind of a vintage dusty vibe. I should add, like any other AI generator, it's going to take you a number of prompts before you find something that you actually really kind of connect with. So anyhow, we're going to take our sample and now we're going to bring that over to Lalal.AI. So what Lalal.AI does, and again, they are sponsoring today's video, and my thanks to them, is that you can upload any song and it will split out the audio tracks for you. So taking our initial song and dragging it into Lalal.AI, it will analyze it. Once that's done, about 30 seconds or so, you can then choose which elements you would like to isolate from your song. For example, if we just wanted the vocals,
Unless you tell them to.
or if we just wanted the instrumental track. Now, I will admit you do get some artifacting, but that's actually not Lalal's fault. That's because we're using an AI-generated song to have an AI website then create stems from it. So, yeah, Lalal actually works very, very well if you're using just a traditionally recorded song. Bass extraction in Lalal has been pretty impressive. It's probably because it's at the lower end of the frequency spectrum and is a lot easier to catch. But yeah, take a listen to this. This is really good. And there are various other presets, acoustic guitar, electric guitar, etc. This was another AI-generated track that I did. This was a jazz trio. I think it was a jazz bebop trio. So let's take a listen real quick just to hear how it does with the wind instruments. So now taking all of those individual tracks, bringing them over into my DAW of choice, Ableton, and grabbing our MPC pads, we get to have some fun. So taking our isolated bass track, I then loaded that into Ableton's sampler, which is called Simpler, and we got this. The isolated instrumental tracks turned into this. As a quick note on the vocals, I didn't really love how the track was coming together with that particular version, so I just ended up re-rolling it and ended up with this.
It's just no use, 'cause I'm controlled by your love.
So once again, just taking the isolated vocal track and bringing that into my sampler, Simpler.
But I know it's just no use.
Honestly, I did get a little bit lazy at the end and I just used a pre-made drum loop for it. But ultimately, this is how the whole thing came together.
It's just no use. My heart can't be baby. It's just no use.
So yeah, maybe not the hottest drop of the year, but you know, I had a lot of fun putting it together, and I think it does effectively prove that you can save yourself a trip to the record store by using AI. Although you should go to your neighborhood record store anyways, and if you're a vinyl collector, I mean, I know nothing I'm going to say is going to stop you. My thanks once again to Lalal.AI for sponsoring this video. You should definitely check them out. The link is below. If you have any questions about any of the techniques, or if you just want to talk music, you can hop over to my Discord. There is an AI music channel over there. I thank you for watching. My name is Tim.